Hello, I'm Bailey Rye, and welcome to the March edition of Hempfield Happenings. This month, we'll be learning about the recent flu epidemic, exploring new heart rate monitors at Landisman Middle School, and summer camp for those with disabilities in Russia. Stay tuned because we are covering all of this and much more. During the month of March, Centerville Elementary is bringing their school together through the power of reading. Andrew Schaffler traveled to the school to get a deeper understanding of this event.
What that means, does anybody want to take a guess at what you think one book, one school might be?
Here at Centerville Elementary School, this one book is bringing the entire school together.
Mrs. Lazoin, the Centerville Elementary School librarian, is one of the original planners of the One Book, One School program at Centerville.
So One Book, One School is a nationwide thing, and different schools can choose the book that they're reading, but basically it's a way to get the school to become a community of readers. We all read the same book, from staff to students, and it's a way to get families involved without making them do too much. I mean, asking a parent to read with their kid hopefully isn't too much to ask, so they read that at home, but we still talk about it at school too.
The students also really enjoy how this one book brings the entire school together.
It's just an entire school reading one book, and it's like, I can't necessarily explain it, but all I understand is that I find it pretty cool.
I think that's cool because like everyone can like talk to each other about it, like because when you're not reading the same book, like no one really understands what the other person's book is about, so they can all like, or if someone missed something, they can tell them about it.
I enjoy it. Heck, I got depressed whenever we reached the limit, but then I got excited whenever my homework club teacher told me that we could read ahead, so that's exactly what I did.
This program is not just about enjoyment, it also has many educational benefits.
I just think the value of this program is bringing our families together, helping kids become better readers. Anytime kids read aloud with their parents or the parents are reading aloud to them, it helps them increase their comprehension and their vocabulary. And it's just a neat thing that the whole school is talking about pie right now, and it's just kind of neat to hear everybody and that we all know about the same book.
Uniting the school through the power of reading is but one goal of the One Book, One School program. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Andrew Schaffler.
The Hempfield boys lacrosse team has been without a coach. Recently, the team finally received a coach and are practicing for the fight ahead. Lauren Daig explores the new change.
Turn. Go. Turn.
The boys lacrosse team has been without a coach for over 8 months now, but the school board selected the best candidate for the team.
On February 13th, Hempfield School Board had a regular meeting to discuss several items, including the approval of a new boys lacrosse coach. Matt McAlpine was selected for this position.
He went through an interview process. He had to go through 2 interviews with a committee of administrators, and we actually had an outside coach involved in that interview process. And the committee felt that he was the best candidate. He's passionate, he's sincere, he really wants to help the program out, he's student-centered, and he communicates very well, and those are all things we're looking for out of a coach.
Coach McAlpine has coaching experience, but not through lacrosse. He hopes to learn and build not only through his assistant coaches, but also the players this upcoming season. He plans to bring certain qualities to the team this year, and players hope for certain traits as well.
The biggest quality to be a coach for me is to be able to relate to your players. Not just on the field, but off the field. You have to have the kids or the players respect, and you have to respect them. If you can do those things, I think the on-the-field accolades and the success will come from those core concepts.
He's going to be putting forth a lot of his effort, hopefully, towards the team and giving a lot of his ideas out, which is going to be very different from last year, which will hopefully make us a better team overall.
Coach McAlpine selected a new slogan, "Whatever it takes." He hopes to implement this throughout the season and to motivate the team to do just that.
It's 3 little words, but it encompasses a lot of things. This season, for it to go off, it's whatever it takes, and that's by me stepping up to be the coach. We're going to have to do things really fast. We don't have a lot of time. We're going to do whatever it takes to get ready for the season. When we step on the field and be competitive and do what we need to do, we're going to do whatever it takes to win and be successful.
We'll put our entire heart into everything we do, and nothing less than 100% energy in every single thing that we do. Ground balls, whether it's practice, if we have to make up for practice, everything we're going to do 100% and do whatever it takes in order to come out as the top dog.
Coach McAlpine and the players are excited for the upcoming season. Good luck to our boys lacrosse team. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Lauren Degg.
Hempfield 3, 1, 2, 3, Hempfield!
With the end of the Winter Olympics and a long wait until the next games, you will have to find something else to fill your athletic competition craving. Look no further. Austin Groff delves into the Centerville Middle School Pentathlon.
On your mark, get set, go. All
Students at Centerville Middle School are currently competing in the annual Greek Pentathlon. They are competing in events such as the standing long jump, the crab walk, and my personal favorite, the paper airplane toss.
A pentathlon is an athletic competition consisting of 5 events. The first ever pentathlon in ancient Greece was made up of long jump, javelin throwing, discus throwing, running, and wrestling. Centerville Middle School's pentathlon consists of 5 different but similar events. These are the crab walk, the standing long jump, the paper plane toss, shot put using a cotton ball, and a paper plate toss. There are 6 teams which are each made up of 2 classes. These are Athens, Corinth, Delphi, Sparta, Argos, and Thebes. Mrs. Huber talks about the scoring system and the awards the students can win.
So the winner, the students are in city-state groups. So for example, in ELA, they may be Corinth. And so all ELA classes on both teams are part of Corinth. And then so they're competing not only individually in their event, but they get points for that, and that goes towards their city-state group as well. So first place in long jump is going to get 5 points, second place maybe 3, and third place 1 point. And those points, they can win the individual event, but they also are getting points for their overall team. So it encourages not only the individual, but the team aspect, which is really important. The cool thing is at the event, at the end, like the big assembly, each kid gets, the winner of each individual event gets an olive wreath to wear, and then the winning overall team, to celebrate that, each of them get a medal, which celebrates the modern Olympics, and the olive wreath celebrating the Olympics from the past.
Mrs. Huber sees lots of benefits for having a pentathlon.
I think it's a great culminating things for the great culminating event for the students. And not only in ELA, we're studying Greek mythology. In world cultures, they're learning about Greece. It tests their knowledge of science, building the appropriate paper airplane and that whole STEM connection and how far they can throw it, and also math as well. So it kind of culminates in all of the classes into a cross-curricular thing. And the kids really like competing and applying their knowledge. It's also a good test of their mental strength as well as their physical strength.
Students at Centerville Middle School enjoyed the event.
It's really fun. It's kind of hard though, but it's fun.
I like it because we get to take a break from class.
Well, you get to just talk with friends and you get to do sports.
The winning team was Thebes with a combined total of 17 points, and following behind them was Sparta and Delphi with 10 points each. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Austin Groff.
The freshmen of Hempfield High School are experiencing an addition of heart rate monitors in their gym classes. Emily McAlpine has found what this addition is all about.
Recently, 9th graders at Hempfield High School have started wearing heart monitors in their gym classes.
Freshmen at Hempfield High School will now be required to wear a heart monitor while participating in their gym classes in order to make them more productive and further their education.
This is a new technology piece that we're able to actually measure the effort that a student is putting into their exercise, and as a result of the feedback that we get from that, we're able to tell them if they're working at a level that's high enough to help them achieve their desired goals. The course is about personal wellness and fitness, so we're trying to help teach students how to exercise at a level that will enable them to experience some positive growth in their wellness.
The heart monitors were instituted in these gym classes to help the students understand more about their own health and how to stay fit.
It gives them immediate personal feedback where they can actually see the results of their exercise rather than having to rely on a teacher to tell them, well, you're not exercising hard enough or you need to work harder. They can actually see that on the monitor themselves.
Zoe Anderson, a 9th grade student, explains how the heart monitors work.
Well, you put them on and there's a color spectrum, and in the color spectrum it depends how fast you're going, how fast your heart's going, and if you're in a certain spectrum then the clock will start, but if you're not in it then it won't start, and you get graded on how much the time is going.
Soon, not only 9th graders but the entire school will have to wear heart monitors in gym class. Students find some drawbacks but can also see the benefits of having them.
I don't like having to put them on every class and being graded on how much my heart goes every minute. I think a benefit will be knowing how hard you're working in gym class, because it really shows you like what you need to work on.
Some people are skeptical of this change, but the gym teachers are hoping that these heart monitors will help to make a difference. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Emily McAlpine.
Smoking is an extremely unhealthy habit that has claimed the lives of loved ones every year. Advancements in technology have sparked the creation of what is known as a Juul. These small devices have become increasingly more popular.
The way that the Juul was manufactured, it was to resemble a cigarette as best as possible, the draw and everything, the feeling of it.
They're small, they would almost look like a USB drive, but maybe twice in length and a little bit slimmer, easily concealable. And what they are is a electronic device that you put in a nicotine, usually it's a nicotine-based liquid, and it ends up getting vaporized by the electronic current that goes through it, and then you inhale the vapor that is discharged after it's heated up.
The health concerns with the e-cigarettes or Juuls, the fact that Juuls is very concentrated, like one of those little packets that you would get from a Juul is as much as a whole pack of cigarettes. So that is a lot of nicotine in one of those tiny little Juuls. The long-term effects we don't know yet because it's so recent. However, they are seeing that people are getting bleeding gums, they're losing their teeth. Teens are actually having smoker's cough. They're getting all these chemicals and it's going directly into their lungs. They're also seeing problems with their immune system. They are not able to fight any type of diseases because it weakens their immune systems.
I smoked cigarettes for a little bit, and it was a healthier way to get off cigarettes. I used the gums and patches and stuff, but none of that worked. So when I came across the Juul, it was the most like a cigarette it's healthier than a cigarette too. It's kind of weird, like the hand to mouth is almost like an addiction itself.
I think the students have easy access to them, and I think the Juuls today, as they're known to the students, have replaced what the iconic cigarette was to students decades ago, before our time. It was cool to have a cigarette, and now it's cool to have a Juul. I absolutely think it affects the students' learning environments, because if they are vaporizing and vaping in class, then that's kicking out into the air, and it's going to affect other students that are sitting near them and cause a disruption to the class.
I think they're prevalent because it's one of those things that a lot of kids do them and use them, and it's just like a way to fit in with your friends.
This past summer, 4 Hempfield seniors traveled to Russia to film a web series advocating for those with disabilities. While there, they visited a repurposed apartment complex that allowed people with disabilities to experience a typical week of summer camp. Joel Pletcher has the story.
Just 2 hours outside of Center City, Moscow, you find Russia's very first inclusive camp, started in 1992. It's called Our Sunny World.
Being the first of its kind, Our Sunny World started with an all-inclusive outlook to provide people with and without disabilities a chance for respite, relaxation, and rehabilitation.
We create our own comprehensive program with a lot of different forms of treatments, and our primary aim was create possibilities, opportunities for everybody.
For up to 2 weeks each summer, this repurposed apartment block transforms into a world of opportunity.
Our center was created by parents and by specialists and by adults with autism, for example, more than 25 years ago. And all of this period we try to create the very good world, really world, because our name, Our Sunny World.
To me, it's sun
sunbeams, and light.
My friends are here. Friends are here.
Our center is not only for rehabilitation, for correction. Our center for happiness, really, for everybody.
The camp offers a wide range of activities for all ages to enjoy. Some are therapeutic, and some are athletic, while others bring out creativity.
I like to make projects with my hands, so we do pottery and clay work. And I also like theatrical plays. I also like to do all kinds of sports projects.
Games. News. Video reporting.
I see a lot of different activities for every ages. And it's very important for us because we need to create a special support for everybody with autism from start of birth to the end of birth sometimes.
Despite the current success of the program, it took many years for the public to acknowledge a need for inclusive opportunities like this one.
The start of 19th in Russia was very it was a very bad situation for disabled, really. Because in the Soviet period, in the period of Soviet Union, in Russian society was very strong divide between normal people and disabled people. It was absolutely impossible for that period to be together for children with disabilities and without disabilities. But from the 1992-1993, situation started to change. And our center was first center in Russian Federation which created a special comprehensive inclusive program.
But thanks to the spreading mission behind Our Sunny World, people of all variety have been able to unite, learn, and develop for 26 years.
It's very difficult to change all governmental system in every cities and every regions. And a lot of regions come to our center to learn, to study our experience, yes, and we accept everybody who come to us. And I hope every year many and more camps and other forms. And I know minimum 50 organizations which copied our camps.
For more information, you can visit the Our Sunny World website at this link. For DPTV, I'm Joel Pletcher.
See the rest of this month's episode of DPTV and learn more about our students' Russian collaboration. Please visit tinyurl.com/DPTV3. Notice the 3 is spelled out. That is tinyurl.com/DPTVTHREE. Teachers' jobs are very difficult. They have to teach a subject to a classroom full of students who all learn in different ways. Sometimes a helping hand is needed in the classroom. Danielle Nietzsche has discovered what a paraeducator is and what they do.
Breathe, clean up, and stay. Where you go next?
In the typical high school classroom, it's just teachers and their students, but in some cases, it's not just them alone.
The role of the paraeducator basically is to assist and support the teacher and the students in whatever they need to accomplish their IEP goals. So that can be anything from preparing materials for the teacher, conducting instruction, helping them complete their daily tasks from day in, day out. It depends on each student, providing behavioral support. So I think it encompasses a lot of different roles, but basically whatever the teachers and students need to make them successful.
Denise Galen summarizes the process of becoming a paraeducator.
I'm Director of Special Education, so I am the supervisor of the paraeducators here at Hempfield School District. I do the interview process and I oversee their training and then also support them in their needs and whatnot throughout the year.
I feel an extreme amount of connections. I love working with the students. I love to see their growth and watch their achievements, so I get very invested in how they're doing and watching them succeed and watching them do well and reach monumental goals in their life. So I feel a really strong connection to my students.
It's not coming up on the big whiteboard?
We're also looking for people that just want to work with children, enjoy working with children. We like to look for someone who has experience working in schools or at least working with children.
Basically, they're educating parallel to the teacher. So we don't necessarily introduce any new instruction, that would come from the teacher, but we are there supporting instruction that the teachers have already taught. So it's reviewing and just kind of reinforcing educationally things that have already been done. So we don't have necessarily teaching degrees, so we're not developing the instruction, but we're supporting whatever's being taught in the class or whatever their goals are for each individual student. The class that I am in, each student has very individual goals and very individual placement, so we cater to where they are developmentally.
Paraeducators emotionally connect with students of all levels, not just by assisting them in daily tasks, lessons, and activities, but also communicating with them about their lives outside of school. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Danielle Leachy.
The flu may not seem like a big deal for modern medicine, but unfortunately, this disease is no laughing matter. Caroline Ulrich tells us more about the recent flu epidemic.
It's flu season again, and this time around, it's a pretty severe case. Not only is the strain showing its face around here at Hempfield, but all around the country.
Over the past 15 flu seasons, this current season is the first time all states in the entire continental United States have reported influenza-like activity.
Flu is a viral illness that causes a variety of symptoms, including fever, body aches, cough, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. It can also cause in younger kids seizures and other serious complications like death. Typically in a normal flu season, high-risk populations would include the elderly and pediatric patients under the age of 2. However, this year we've seen an atypical flu strain, and people with also respiratory illnesses like COPD and diabetes are also at higher risk.
Other high-risk populations include pregnant women, people with lung or heart disease, and anyone with a weakened immune system.
Right now for this season, we are seeing a dramatic increase in ILI or influenza-like illnesses, and we have not peaked yet. So that is the big concern. We've already surpassed the year that everyone remembers, which was the 2009 and 10 year when we had a new kind of flu virus. That was the H1N1 year.
Circulating flu strains this season are a mix of H3N2, H1N1, and B viruses.
So one of the biggest reasons the flu gets spread is that people don't use basic hygiene, particularly hand washing. So I can't tell you enough that hand washing helps prevent the spread of illness. Make sure that you get in touch with your doctor. So if you start with flu symptoms in the first 24 hours, there's a medicine called Tamiflu that's potentially going to help treat your symptoms and reduce the length of your illness. So the sooner you're in contact with a medical provider when you have the flu, make treatment options better. Make sure that you stay hydrated. Make sure that you take Tylenol and Motrin to keep your temperature down if it's not contraindicated with other medications that you're taking. And otherwise, stay out of public places where you might be able to give the illness to other people.
According to the CDC, more than 60,000 samples testing positive for influenza have been reported since monitoring for the virus began on October 1st.
I do encourage the flu vaccine, even a year like this where it's not effective, because you have to consider the flu vaccine is like investing in retirement or the stock market. When you make an investment, you're not exactly sure what's going to happen. You're making it based predicting what you think is going to happen. When laboratories make the flu vaccine, they are making that flu vaccine based on predictions of what strains are going to be circulating the most in the upcoming season. It's still very beneficial to get the flu vaccine because, again, like investing, if you get a flu shot every year that protects against 3 or 4 varieties of flu, those add up to be a bigger and bigger investment over time.
As the flu continues to spread, it is important to remember that it is strongly encouraged to get the flu vaccine. Hydrate and stay healthy. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Caroline Ulrich.
With the flu being a lot more difficult to deal with and other diseases remaining a concern, it is important to be properly vaccinated. Recently, there was an update to immunization requirements for students. Tisha Pham tells us more.
With the flu season at its peak, it is vital to stay up to date with current immunizations and vaccines available.
As of May 2017, a recent change to the laws will affect current 11th graders going into their senior year.
The vaccine is a second meningitis shot. You had to get one when you were in 7th grade, but now they are recommending a second dose to make sure that you're adequately immunized. So they want it after the age of 16. So anytime after the age of 16, you can get the second dose.
Students must have proof of the vaccine by the first day of school or within 5 days of the school days, whereas before, students had a longer window of 8 months.
If the students don't get the vaccine within the time they're supposed to, they can be excluded from school. That means that they need to stay home from school until they get the vaccine. But if a student makes an appointment, that will be acceptable, but we need to have proof of that.
These were American Academy of Pediatric guidelines before schools started requiring them. Not getting proper immunizations could have detrimental effects to one's health.
Meningococcus is actually a very dangerous disease that can cause infection around the brain as well as infection in the blood. Even if you treat it appropriately with antibiotics, about 10 to 15% of people will still die, and then another 10 to 20% will survive but have lifelong disabilities like hearing loss, brain damage, and more.
As long as students are attending their yearly checkups, they should be receiving the appropriate vaccinations at the right times.
They say it's at least 5 years. But if you're getting your first one at 11, then it's wearing off by 16, which is why 16 to 17, you need that second one to carry you through college. I think it's essential. I mean, I have 2 daughters of my own, and I wouldn't dream of not giving these vaccines to them.
The thought of getting shots may sound daunting, but they could have a healthy advantage in the long run. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Tisha Pham.
A big part of the communication technology classes at Hempfield High School is the competition at the Student Television Network Convention. Joining me to talk about this experiences are Julie Gibbons, Kayla Gallagher, and Jack Harrison. So, I want to start out with some questions, and so my first question is, what is STN?
STN is a national convention. They end up hosting over 3,000 students from across the country, and the convention hosts a bunch of film and journalism competitions that everyone gets to participate in.
Cool. What do you do while you're there?
So our school participates in the Crazy Eights competition. So in that competition, you have 8 hours to produce an 8-minute or less video. So the seniors are doing broadcast this year, and the juniors do film. And then we also participate in individual competitions, which we get to choose for the other days while we're there, and we also do sessions for our downtime.
All right. What are the competitions like?
They're really stressful but really rewarding. Last year we put together a short film, and it took the entire day, but it was a lot of fun.
Cool. Where is STN this year?
This year, STN is in Nashville, Tennessee, so our group is going to be taking a bus and traveling all the way there.
All right. How has Hempfield done in the past with these competitions?
So Hempfield's been going to STN for 7 years now. So we kind of have a reputation there. We've made some connections with some of the other schools and other organizations affiliated with it. So in the past, we won 3rd place in the music video competition, and then the following year, we won 1st place.
All right. Are you looking forward to this, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we're absolutely looking forward to it. Last year, like I said, we were in the film, but this year, as the senior class, we're going to be putting together a broadcast news show, which we'll be showing on Hempfield Happenings. But it's going to be really stressful, as it always is, but I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, and then I'm just going to leave it open. Any final remarks that anybody wants to add?
I think we're all just really excited to get to go for the 2nd year in a row, get to experience this again. It's a really great opportunity for us.
Cool. All righty. On March 13th, the Comtech students will be leaving for Nashville to compete at the Student Television Network National Convention. At the same time, we'll be working on the April edition of Hempfield Happenings, which will be our 350th episode. Until then, I'm Bailey Rye, and wish us luck.